Morning guys, hey, I want to talk about the vestibular system. I want to talk about balance. I am no expert by any means, but many years ago I went through an incredibly bad, uncomfortable bout of vertigo. And I had no idea what upright was. I would literally get on my hands and knees and fall over. Couldn't stay on my hands and knees. Everything was spinning the whole time. And I was pretty bad for about 7 days. And then for months and months and even years, I still had effects of it, but not nearly as bad. I could function, I just had to be aware of it. So I don't think we pay attention to that enough, even with younger athletes, but as we get a little bit older, and then as we get much older, we've got to be careful of making sure that our adults can have balance when they change their levels or change space. So they might be down on the ground doing something and all of a sudden stand up quickly. Sometimes there's even a change in blood pressure and they lose balance really quick. They get dizzy. I'm sure you've done that. You popped up real quick and all of a sudden you're lightheaded, right? So we got to be prepared for that. And then going back to the inner ear of the vestibular system, we got to make sure that we can work on stuff to try to help that. And obviously that has a lot to do with our vision, right? So some simple things is, so if I'm sitting here, you can't see my eyes very well, but like I'll look up and then I'll look down and then I'll look right and then I'll look left and then I'll look up this way and then down that way, okay? And then I start moving my head like that as I'm looking up. Same thing side to side. Diagonal, okay? A lot of times I'll just do it like this, okay? Different body orientation here. I'll look up and do all these different angles. Very important. Now, here's the thing that I do want you to start to work on. If you do this with an adult or yourself, make sure you're somewhere where you can catch yourself, okay? So I would either use poles or you could even use something like straps, something like that. So if you do lose your balance, at least you have something to hold on to. But one thing that I think is important to add is being able to go from a supine position to a vertical standing position. So one of the exercises that I did with myself to train myself is I would start here and I would just slowly roll back, okay, and then I'd roll up and I'd stand. Okay, and so I remember initially I was like off balance, and then I'd just sit down until I felt comfortable again, and then I would work myself back into being able to go multiple reps of this, okay? Then it started to go, I look back, and then I look forward. Just doing that right there made it totally different for me. So I remember when I first did this, I had to be careful. I wouldn't even stand up. I would just go here to here, back into here, and then eventually I could do it where I could go fast here and then stand up. So think of different ways to add how you can do that. Another way that I like to use is, let me just move this, is I would get down on the ground, all right, and I would completely hunch over and bring my head so the whole inner ear, everything is rotating and having to find where I am, right? So I would bend down like this, and then I would just stand up and step. Come back down, up, and step. That gets me. Even now, it's been, I don't know how many years it's been now since I had vertigo. That still affects me a little bit. So I probably need to start working on that again and make sure that I have that control, because if I'm ever somewhere and I need it, you know, I have to make sure that I can manage, and I don't want to be caught in a position where I can't catch my balance. So something to think about. It's a little different video today, but really, really important stuff. Can be embarrassing for older people who just feel really uncomfortable. They're afraid to leave their own space. You got to make them feel comfortable by training it, okay? Because you can help it, okay? Hey, hope you enjoy it. We'll see you tomorrow.